Magandang araw, Podmates! Howie Severino muli na nagpapaalala na nakakatalino ang mahabang attention span. May kasama na naman tayong dakilang Pilipina, si Solana Perez ng Baguio, na katatapos lang ng Mongol Derby sa Mongolia, ang tinaguriang longest and toughest race ng kabayo sa mundo. Ito'y 1,000 kilometers sa Mongolian grasslands o tinatawag nilang steppes. Sa loob ng 2 linggo, usually 9 or 10 days na may overnight stops habang nagsasanay si Solana. Para sa karerang ito, gumawa kami ng 2 dokumentaryo tungkol sa kanyang pangarap at sa mga pinagdadaanan niya. Kasama na ang pag-cancel ng karera dahil sa pandemya. Nasa Baguio siya ngayon at ako naman ay nasa Manila. Magandang araw sa iyo, Solana. Congratulations for being the first Filipino to race in the Mongol Derby.
Thank you.
Solana, I saw your videos during the race. Itong Mongol Derby, no? It was as much an adventure and challenge as much as it was a race, no? Dahil 10 days, minsan hindi mo na nakikita mga kalaban mo, no? Matagal mo ng pangarap ito, Solana. No? Ngayon, natupad na. How do you feel?
Overwhelmed pa rin. Hanggang ngayon, overwhelmed pa ako. Ang daming layers kasi sa experience na nangyari. Bago pa ako umalis ng Pilipinas papuntang Mongolia, syempre ina-absorb, process ko pa yung nakalipas ng ilang taon. Was that 3 or almost 4 years na nagtitraining lang ako, parang hinihintay ko to. Halos hindi ako mapaniwala na talagang tutuloy na siya. So, just getting over that feeling and being in Mongolia was hard to describe. Ngayon na nakauwi na ako, tapos na siya. Honestly, I'm having a hard time adjusting pa to I guess normal life. Parang ang overall feeling ko ngayon is yung mga naranasan ko sa Mongolia, yung mga nangyayari sa akin sa Mongolia, yan yung real life, yan yung totoong buhay.
Tinawag
Talaga yung
kasing
contrast.
toughest horse race to sa mundo, no? So gaano kahirap yung pinagdaanan mo dito sa Mongolia?
Okay. Medyo mahirap i-describe from my side as the toughest, yung tough aspect na yun. May mga struggles talaga. So, for one, yung isang challenge is hindi na yung rider yung pipili ng kabayo, by lottery na siya. So, may luck element dyan. Hindi mo alam kung talagang wild yung makukuha mong kabayo or kung mabagal or mabilis. So that was one of the challenges. Test talaga siya ng horsemanship. One of the hardest parts of the race is yung talagang ma-expose ka sa elements. The environment in Mongolia
Tulad
is
ng?
Well, this year sobrang init. Sobrang init habang may araw, tapos
Summer doon.
wala namang puno. Hindi masyadong mapuno yung step, mostly grassland siya. So titiisin mo lang talaga yung init. During the day, umaabot siya ng 30 degrees, 32 degrees.
Wow.
Tapos tuwing gabi naman, minsan nagdo-drop siya hanggang 8 or 10 degrees.
Laki ng drop, ha?
Yeah. Tapos nung bago pa nagsimula yung karera, may isang parang dry run day, training day. Diyan ko naranasan na na-stuck kami sa isang lugar habang parang bumabagyo. sobrang lakas ng hangin, sobrang lakas din ng
Yung
ulan.
hangin,
Parang di mo na
may ulan.
mabubuksan yung
Oo.
mata mo. Nag-train naman ako para dyan kasi monsoon rains dito sa Baguio. Ganon din naman yung nangyayari
Oo.
tuwing
Oo.
tag-ulan. Pero
Mm.
ang
Mm.
diferensya dyan sa
Mm.
Mongolia is may kasamang hail. So,
Mm.
may halong
Mm.
yelo na yung ulan. Mm-mm.
Sa madaling salita, ang hail ay may yelong bumabagsak. Tama? Yung ulan nagiging
Parang,
yelo.
parang sago siya. Parang
Okay.
frozen sago siya. Um,
Maliliit na oo.
mm-mm.
Masakit ba? Masakit ba kung matamaan ka ng hail?
Masakit. Sobrang sakit. Tapos nung time pa nun,
Mm.
um, kasi minsan, since semi-wild yung mga kabayo, takot sila sa
Mm.
rain jacket sa kapote kasi yung tunog ng
Mm.
ulan, tsaka yung pag-flap niya, paglagay mo, nakakatakot yan sa ibang mga kabayo. So, hindi
Mm.
pa namin nalabas
Mm.
yung rain gear namin. So,
Mm.
basically, t-shirt lang, fully exposed kami sa yellow na yan. Wini-whip ako ng 40
Mm.
minutes, tapos tumatama siya sa tenga, tumatama siya sa
Mm.
leeg. Tapos ang ginawa lang namin is kumapit na lang kami sa kabayo. Yung kabayo, nag-stop na siya. Ayaw na niya maglakad, ayaw na niya tumakbo. Hinihintay lang talaga nila yung na makalipas yung ulan. So, kumapit na lang
Mm.
kami sa kabayo namin tapos hinintay rin namin. So,
Mm.
siguro mga 40 minutes kami dyan.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. At tsaka yung sa video, tsaka mga litrato nakita ko, wala kayo masyadong masisilungan doon, no? Walang mga puno,
Wala.
walang mga struktura,
Mm-mm.
malawak yung lupa na walang mga bahay, no?
Mm-mm.
So, yun grabe yung elements o yung weather conditions na naranasan mo kakaiba, no? Walang walang ganyan sa Baguio, yung
Yeah.
may bumabagsak na mga pellets ng yelo. Alam ko nag-training ka sa Baguio, may horse culture diyan ano sa mga park sa Baguio at may mga kaibigan
Ah.
kang pony boy, nakasama ka nga sa community ng pony boys and girls, no? Kasi may mga babae din diyan. Pero
Mm-mm.
diyan sa Baguio ay iilan lang yung mga kabayong sinasakyan mo, no? But
Mm-mm.
ang itong competition na to sa Mongolia, you cannot bring your own horse, 'di ba? Kasi ang laki ng
Yep.
advantage mo kung sarili mong kabayo. Oo, aside from that, hindi kaya ng iisang kabayo yung 1,000 kilometers na yan na sunod-sunod yung araw, 'di
Mm-mm.
ba? So, yung mechanics nito ay sabi mo nga kanina, you draw lots, no? Hindi ka makakapili ng kabayo.
Mm-mm.
Ibig sabihin,
Yeah.
yung mga kabayong sasakyan nyo ay nandun na. These are
Yeah.
Mongolian horses, no? Na
Yeah.
trained na mga Mongolian at doon nakatira at
Mm-mm.
wala ka pang experience dito sa mga
Mm-mm.
kabayo na yon, ano? So, and then at each horse
Mm-mm.
station, magpapalit ka ng kabayo, tama ba yon? And then you get to spend the night
Apa.
para magpahinga yung
Mm-mm.
riders. And then the next day, you will
Yeah.
ride a different horse. Tama?
So, between every horse station, usually umaabot siya ng 20 to 35 or 40 kilometers. Depende rin kasi sa terrain
Mm.
kung saan nila malalagay yung mga station nila. Um,
Mm. Mm.
Tapos, at every horse station, dyan po kayo magpipili sa lottery para sa next na kabayo mo. So, the process is, pagparating ka na sa horse station, mag-sign in ka, bibigay mo yung pangalan mo or yung rider call sign mo. Tapos, i-check nila yung time kung kailan ka nakarating. And then, right away, you report to a vet. I-check ng vet yung condition ng kabayo na sinakyan mo. So, i-check nila yung hydration, yung heart rate, tapos kung nasugatan ba siya, or basta if
Okay.
any overall well-being of the horse.
Mm.
Tapos, i-continuous monitoring na yan hanggat bumaba yung heart rate ng kabayo mo.
Mm.
And then, only when you've passed your vet check, saka ka na lang makakapili ng next
Mm. 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 Mm.
horse mo. So, ideally, during the race, 'di ba, 'pag 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 kailangan makaabot ka ng 3 to 4 stations per day. So, on average, you should be doing
Mm.
80 to 120 kilometers per day.
Did you did you always have um tame, well-behaved horses, or may mga kabayo ka rin na nakuha na unabunot, no? Kasi bunutan
Um,
to. Na
yeah.
na medyo wild or pasaway.
Actually, swerteng-swerte ako kasi lahat ng nabunot ko, um, mababait. I never fell off during the whole
Okay.
duration of the race. Yung ibang
Mm.
mga riders, grabe talaga yung nangyayari sa kanila. May mga serious injuries. Yung iba, nahuhulog sila tapos iniiwan sila ng kabayo nila.
Oh, wow.
And um, but for me, majority of the horses, sobrang kalmado. Parang
Mm.
talagang inaalagaan nila ako. Ang
Mm.
problema ko lang dyan sa mga kalmadong kabayo is mabagal talaga sila. So, yan yung isang factor kung paano ako na-eliminate. Kasi um, super slow and steady lang yung pace na nagawa ko. I think out of all the horses na nasakyan ko, siguro mga 3, 4 lang yung talagang race horse, yung talagang
Mm.
hindi ko silang mapigilang tumakbo. Takbo lang yung gusto nila. Siguro mga 3 or 4 lang yung nakuha kong ganun. Tapos yung iba, um, minsan may mga tics sila, may mga odd behaviors na medyo challenging. Pero in comparison naman sa mga ibang riders na nakakuha ng talagang wild na kabayo, I think I was very lucky.
Na-eliminate ka sa karera,
Mm-mm.
no?
Napa.
So, yeah, because you did not achieve a certain time, or ano yung nangyari?
Mm-mm. Yeah. So, ang mechanics dyan is, since ang lawak ng kurso ng race, kung masyadong behind ka, may threat talaga of elimination kasi um, parang hindi rin ma-maintain ng mga organizers yung logistics kung masyadong maraming riders yung naiwan tapos sobrang um, paharap na yung nasa lead. Um, and I got the call from headquarters, from the organizers, na tinitignan nila ako sa mapa
Mm.
at yung average pace ko per day was not enough to finish on time. So
Mm.
ideally, by day 10, dapat tapos na yung karera. Yan yung ideal schedule nila.
Mm.
And they were checking my daily pace. Magkukulang talaga ako. So, on day 6, parang binigyan nila ako ng ultimatum na
Mm.
sa araw na to, kailangan maka 4 o 5 um, horse station ka ngayon or else may eliminate ka. And then, that was, yeah. I tried on that day. I really tried. Pero, ang daming nangyari din sa akin nung araw na yan and it just became impossible. So, yeah. I think out of the
Malaking,
1,000
yeah.
kilometers,
Mm.
siguro mga 650 to 700
Mm.
yung natapos ko.
Was that a big disappointment for you, yung ma-eliminate?
Um, yeah, at first, the day itself nung na-eliminate ako, um, sobrang nakaka-disappoint. Tapos ang iniisip ko talaga is, um, sayang, di naman sayang yung effort ko kasi I know that I tried my best. Pero ang iniisip ko is sayang yung effort ng mga pony boys na nag-train sa akin, na tumulong sa akin para mag-prepare. Naka-receive naman ako ng ilang mga messages from home na encouraging. And at the end of the day, I think I was just relieved, relieved that it was, na tapos na para sa akin yung karera. Nung nawala yung parang yung time pressure na
Mhm.
kailangan, kailangan competitive ka, kailangan hinahabol mo yung
Mhm.
schedule. Parang
Mhm.
talagang nakapag-enjoy na ako tapos nakipag-bonding na lang sa ibang riders and then I was able to still join the race pero more as a spectator, more as an admirer of the of Mongolia and of the other riders rather
Mhm.
than as a competitive rider. So
Mhm.
at the end of the day, may peaceful resolution naman ako dyan sa outcome.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, yung iba kasi of course yung iba itinuloy nila yung karera, no? Pero
Mm-mm.
nakita ko yung video ng mga nakapagtapos, no? And I saw also a video of you crossing the finish line, no, with other
Mm-mm.
riders. Yung iba na-injure, no? May
Mm-mm.
mga nag-post na nahulog pa sa kabayo, bumagsak sila sa ulo nila, and then may nabalian pa ng arm. So there were quite a number
Yeah.
of risks involved here, no? Some
Yeah.
danger.
I think one of the worst injuries this year, um, I think day one pa lang, may punctured lungs siya. So there were a few injuries na kailangan talagang evacuate sila out of the race course kasi talagang
Mm-hmm.
seryoso na. Yeah.
So I think it was one of your cousins who posted
Mm-mm.
on social media that you had a catastrophic gear failure, no? Uh, in
Yeah.
quotes, catastrophic gear failure, but she didn't elaborate, no? Would you want to
Mm-mm.
share what that was about?
So yan po yung nangyari sa akin nung na-eliminate ako. Kasi on
Mm.
that day, talagang hinahabol ko yung 4 to 5 stations na yan para hindi ako ma-eliminate. So, um,
Mm-mm.
ang nangyari, me and a few other riders, we left the first horse station, 7 a.m. Um, Tapos, within 2.5 hours, natapos namin yung first leg. So
Mm-mm.
that's good time on schedule sana yan. That was really promising. May hope pa ako
Mm-mm.
noon. Pero ang nangyari during that leg, since talagang pinupush ko yung kabayo ko na um, tumakbo at saka iniisip ko lang na kailangan on track ako, kailangan the shortest time possible. Um, Unfortunately, yung hydration system ko, yung hydration bladder
Uh-uh.
na nasa backpack ko, which is
Uh-uh.
required
Uh-uh.
for all the racers.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
Um, Parang masyado na siyang na chafe, may wear
Mm-hmm.
and tear na siya. So pagdating
Mm-hmm.
ko sa next na station,
Mm-hmm.
basang-basa na ako tsaka ubos na lahat
Mm-hmm.
ng tubig ko. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I lost a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, sa next station na yan, kung
Mm-hmm.
mahahabol ko yung 4 to 5 stations in one day, ideally, 10 minutes lang ako dyan. Bale, magre-refill lang ako ng tubig.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos kung may snacks na available, kain lang. Tapos
Mm-hmm.
CR, tapos lottery, tapos
Mm-hmm.
alis agad. Yan yung ideal
Mm-hmm.
flow of events. Pero since nasira na yung hydration system ko, siguro mga 45 minutes akong na-stuck sa station na yan. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I lost a lot of time kasi sinubukan pa naming i-repair yan. So may mga kaibigan
Mm-hmm.
ako sa crew, sa organizing team, tinulungan naman nila ako. Linagyan namin ng duct tape, linagyan namin ng ziplock. We really did, we really did everything we could to keep the bag from leaking, to keep it
Mm-hmm.
functional.
Mm-hmm.
Pero so nawalan ako ng halos 1 oras dyan dahil dyan.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
by the time I left for the next station, siguro mga 10:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. na yan. So yan yung hottest time of the day, yan yung
Uh-huh.
pinakamainit. Um, at saka mabagal na naman yung kabayo na nabunot ko sa lottery.
Mm. Mm.
Tapos yung yung course na yan to the next horse station, yan din yung isa sa pinaka-challenging sa buong
Mm.
karera. So,
Mm.
um, mountainous siya, mahirap siyang i-navigate. Um, since medyo tricky siya, talagang nakatutok ka sa GPS. So, hindi
Mm.
basta-basta lang ipapatakbo mo yung kabayo mo na straight ahead. Kailangan talagang
Mm.
i-check mo yung mapa, tapos
Mhm.
aakyat ka pa ng ilang bundok.
Mhm.
Um, basically,
So
ang
that
nangyari
gear,
dyan,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yung
So oh,
hydration system talaga yung nag-fail dyan.
so there was
Yeah.
some bad luck
Mm-mm.
involved, no? Ilan ba yung
Yeah.
participants dito sa event na to?
43.
Only 43 from around the world, no?
Yeah.
So ikaw ang
Mm-mm.
iisang Filipino, the first Filipino to compete, no? And
Yeah.
marami bang
Yep.
tiga Asia or nakita ko mostly Caucasians, no? I guess
Yeah.
American and
Yeah.
European, no? Ang karamihan.
Mostly American and British, tapos mga
Mhm.
taga-Australia din.
Mhm.
Um,
And then
tapos yeah,
mixed
tapos may apat
gender yung
mm,
na.
na taga-Pakistan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And but how about locals, Mongolians themselves? Can they qualify or can they they want to compete or
Mm-mm.
gusto
Um,
galing para dito or
they
what?
yeah. Last year, may dalawang Mongolian na nakikompete and they won. Of course, they won first and second place.
Ah,
Dapat lang.
oo.
um, so I think qualifying is not a problem for them. Pero ang nangyari last year is I think they were government sponsored to join. So most of the
Mm-mm.
time, the Mongolians, they don't compete in the race, pero sumasali
Mm-mm.
sila sa race as hosts. So
Mm-mm.
sa kanila yung mga kabayo na
Mm.
ginagamit.
Mixed itong competition, no? I mean, babae lalaki, they're competing
Yep.
against each other or may women's division, men's,
Wala,
division or
mixed po siya.
and then finally sino yung nanalo and tiga saan?
First place was si Linda. I'm not sure of her family name.
Babae ang
Yeah,
nanalo.
yep. Really good rider. Tsaka, I think the thing that set her apart from everyone else
Mm-mm.
was her
Okay.
yung pag-focus niya,
So,
yung pag-focus niya sa race
sabi
mismo.
mo nga, is this a Mongolian organized event and how long has it been going on?
Mm-mm. Um, so the company that runs the event is actually based in the UK. Um, they're called the Adventurists. Tapos, nag-organize din sila ng ibang mga events.
So, yung sabi mo nga after you got eliminated from the race, you continued riding horses to the finish line, but it became more of an experience, no, rather than competition, of course, no. And then sabi mo
Yeah.
nga, you kind of, because there was no more pressure to, to race against others,
Yeah.
you were able to experience a lot more
Mm-mm.
and got to know the local people, other riders. So,
After I got eliminated, sumakay na ako dyan sa Blood Wagon. So,
mm-mm,
I only rode again um, the last the last leg of the race. So, from station 28 to the finish line. Parang nag-ceremonial crossing ng finish
mm-mm,
line na lang kami, yung
mm-mm,
mga riders na nasa adventure
mm-mm.
class.
Mhm.
Um, but I didn't actually get back on a horse until that day. So may mga three
Mhm.
or 4 days of rest ako that I really just stayed with the riders who were in the blood wagon. Yeah.
Mhm. There
Um
was one video, yeah, there was one video na kinikwento mo yung tinuluyan mo na pamilya, no? You
yeah.
spend the night in their
Yeah.
home, and then umiyak
Mm-mm.
ka kasi parang um sobra mong ramdam yung pag-aalaga sa iyo kahit sandali lang kayo
Mm-mm.
nagsama, no?
Mm-mm.
So,
Uh,
bakit ka napaiyak
so
doon?
well, actually nangyari yan nung during the race pa rin. Hindi pa ako na-eliminate noon. Um at ayun na-explain ko nga na sa mechanics kung kung cut-off time na 7 p.m., hindi ka na
Mhm.
pwedeng tumuloy na mag-ride. So,
Mhm.
it's up to you to find the place to camp. Tapos,
Mhm.
ang requirements para sa camping is kailangan
Mhm.
may tubig yung kabayo mo, um, tsaka may makakain siyang damo. Yan lang. Yan yung requirements for camping. Tapos, for your own shelter, bahala ka na. Um, So, basically, ang nangyari dyan is malapit na sa cut-off time. Tapos, may nakita lang akong family in the distance. Andyan yung gear, yung bahay nila. At um, pansin ko na meron silang maliliit na bata. Tapos, mukhang happy naman sila.
Mhm.
Basically, may good vibes. May good vibes talaga sila. May aura sila na um, mabuting tao sila. So, linapitan ko sila. Tapos, um, meron akong alam na mga basic words lang in Mongolian. So, humingi ako ng
Mhm.
tubig para sa kabayo ko. Tapos, agad-agad, inalagaan nila yung kabayo para sa akin. So, pinababa ako sa kabayo. Tapos, sila na mismo yung nagtanggal ng saddle. Tapos,
Mhm. Mhm.
nagdala sila ng palanggana na may tubig. So, nung
Mhm.
nakita ko yan, parang alam ko na safe ako dyan kasi maalaga kahit kabayo ng stranger, total stranger na lumapit lang sa
Mhm.
kanila, maalaga na sila. So, it's like, okay,
Mhm.
safe ako dito. Tapos,
Mhm.
um, yeah, I just felt very at home r- right from the start with this family. Tapos nung um, nakarating yung isang crew member ng race, yung
Mhm.
mga interpreters. Kasi
Mhm.
protocol din nila yan kung magka-camp ka sa labas ng horse station. Um,
Mhm.
Parang mag-check up lang sila sa'yo kung okay ka sa
Mhm.
pwesto mo.
Mhm.
So pagdating nila, kinausap ng interpreter yung family para lang
Mhm.
maintindihan nila na kasama ako sa karera na to, tapos may
Mhm.
tracker ako, magsasend ako ng
Mhm.
messages at updates sa organizers, and
Mhm.
basically please take care of her.
Mhm.
Tapos ang naalala ko lang dyan is si Nadmid, yung wife of the family, the mother of the family. Um, ang sabi niya sa interpreter is um,
Mhm.
parang sabi niya, oh, don't worry, we understand her. We understand her because she's our new daughter. Yan yung
Mhm.
sabi niya. So, parang na-adopt ako as their daughter right away. Tapos talagang inalagaan nila ako. They put me to bed. They made sure that I had everything I needed. Tapos, um, and pinakain ako. They fed me really well. Tapos kinabukasan nung kailangan ko nang umalis kasi actually nag-delay nga ako sa kanila eh. Um, Kasi riding time is supposed to start 7 a.m.
Mhm, mhm,
Pero
mhm, hmm,
naisip ko talaga na I'm probably never, I'm probably never going to see these people again. So, yun din yung isang reason kung bakit
mhm,
na-eliminate ako is because I really just wanted to spend as much time as possible with these people. So, nakaalis na ako sa place nila ng mga 8:30 a.m. And
mhm, mhm,
um,
mhm,
binigyan ako ng lumang Del. So, a Del is
mhm.
the traditional
Okay.
Mongolian
Well,
attire.
mhm.
Um, Nung una
Mm,
pinahiram lang nila sa akin kasi nakita nila na hindi ko linalabas yung raincoat ko. Nung nag-toothbrush na kami, nung nag-aayos na kami para matulog, nakita nila na wala akong rain jacket. Lahat ng mga,
mhm,
toiletries and everything,
mm,
outdoors siya
mm, mm,
kasi nomadic yung lifestyle nila.
mm, mm,
So, pinahiram nila yung Dell na to. Tapos,
mm.
nag-comment lang ako na, oh, this is my favorite color. Tapos yun,
Ah,
kinabukasan, nung paalis ako, nung inaayos ko na yung gamit ko, bigla na lang napansin ko na nakatupi na yung Dell. Tapos tinatali na nila sa saddle ko para para dalhin ko din. Yeah. Mm.
Sol, bakit ka sumali sa Mongol Derby?
Um, wow. Ang daming naging rason, no? Kasi naghahanda ako for 3.5, almost 4 years. Um, so along the way, I picked up a lot of reasons, but I think um, aside from, wanting to, I guess, bring pride to the pony boys, to the people who taught me how to ride.
The
Naghahanap
Pony
din
Boys
ako
in
ng
Baguio. Mm,
Yeah, naghahanap din ako ng personal validation kasi um alam I'm sure a lot of young people can relate, pero um the feeling na hindi mo pa nahanap yung talagang gusto mong gawin, or hindi mo pa nahanap
mhm,
yung calling mo.
mhm,
Um and I've tried all sorts of things, mostly nag-work ako as a visual artist, but when it comes down to what I want and what I think I should be doing, um, na-realize ko din na mas magaling talaga ako sa pangangabayo. I think
mhm,
it's the best thing I do, and unfortunately, um, hindi siya talagang recognized as a viable livelihood. I mean, hanggang ngayon nagsa-struggle talaga yung mga local pony boys dito. Um, and for the longest time, customer customer lang ako nila, suki. I mean, I was their friend, pero coming from,
mhm, mhm, mhm,
my privileged upbringing,
mhm,
um, it's not it's not something that um, was passed on to me na pwede kang maging pony boy bilang trabaho. You know,
Yes.
more of
Mhm,
seen as a hobby siya. So,
mhm.
nung nag-sign up ako para sa Mongol Derby, parang yan yung hinahanap ko, is yung may mapupuntahan itong skill, itong knowledge na
Mhm.
nakuha ko sa mga pony boy.
Ano ba yung tungkol sa kabayo na gusto mo? Bakit napalapit ka sa mga kabayo and
First of all, um, parang hindi na ma-encompass ng love lang yung tingin ko sa kabayo eh. Kasi buong buhay ko, um, na-expose na ako dyan sa riding, tsaka sa
Mm-mm.
um, lifestyle ng mga pony boys. So, um, it's really a part of me. Mahirap siyang i-separate. But um, I think what it boils down to, uh, yung pinaka-conclusion ko dyan is, um, hmm, I guess something na maintindihan ng mga tao is yung um, freedom. Yung freedom nila na once na nakasakay ka sa kabayo, parang iba yung feeling. I mean, of course, it's hard to take care of a horse. Maraming hardships around being a horsewoman in general. But once you're riding, there's just this understanding between you and this animal, and it's teamwork. It's teamwork, and it makes you feel good.
So you develop this horsemanship and yung relationship mo sa kabayo dito sa Baguio, no, sa Wright Park, and parang naging community mo na rin itong mga pony boys, no? So um, how are they now? Sabi mga they have their own struggles, no? So kumusta na yung
Yeah.
sitwasyon ng mga pony boys diyan sa Baguio?
Um, well, honestly, aside from nung pandemic, yan yung isang pinakamalaki tsaka pinaka-sudden na challenge that the Pony Boys have faced. Syempre kasi bawal yung tourism
Mhm.
that time, and um, being a pony boy, it's very much part of the tourist industry. Yung mga
Mhm.
turista talaga yung nagbubuhat sa income at livelihood nila.
Mhm.
Um, so for 2 years, halos wala silang income, and they still had to find a way to feed their families and take care of their horses. Maraming mga kabayo na namatay nun kasi di na sila mapakain or binenta na lang sila, tapos
Mhm.
naghanap ng ibang trabaho yung
Mhm.
mga nag-aalaga sa kanila. Tapos, aside from that, ngayon naman, may inflation. So, the thing about having horses here in Baguio is um, maraming pangangailangan para sa kabayo na kailangan i-import mo galing sa ibang probinsya kung hindi ibang bansa. So, yung pagkain nila hindi na pro-produce dito sa Baguio. So, with inflation, syempre, tumataas presyo nun, tapos i-shipping mo pa. So, mas lalong nagiging napapamahal yung maintenance ng kabayo. And then,
Mhm.
aside from that, I think there's just an overall lack of understanding of the
Mhm.
industry from the local government, and from the general public. So, ang nangyayari sa Wright Park ngayon is magtatayo sila ng parking building um,
Mhm.
para sa mga turista na papuntang Mines View, papuntang
Mhm.
Mansion House. Pero ang nangyari is para itayo yung parking building na to, pinademolish nila yung mga bahay ng mga kabayo sa Wright Park, and with no plan for
Mhm.
alternative housing
Mhm.
or alternative placement. Basically, sinabi lang nila na magtatayo kami ng building, tapos
Mhm.
kung ikaw yung may-ari ng kabayo, ikaw yung bahala kung anong
Mhm.
mangyayari sa kanya.
Mhm.
Which is just not
Mhm.
fair, because a lot of
Mhm.
syempre nagsa-struggle na yung mga pony boys nung pandemic pa. Tapos yung mga
Mhm.
kabayo na nakatira sa Wright Park, hindi lang basta-bastang mauuwi. Yan, I mean, yung ibang mga pony boys, wala na nga silang space para sa sariling pamilya, mahirap
Mm,
mag-uwi pa ng kabayo. Um,
mm. Yeah.
Tapos there's been very little, if no support from outside of the industry to, to come up with solutions for for the pony boys. Yeah, so talagang nagsa-struggle sila ngayon.
How has the experience of the Mongol Derby changed you?
Ah, mahirap pang sabihin kasi kakabalik ko lang.
Mhm.
But it's um hmm, it's made me appreciate people more, and it's made me um rethink yung mga acts of kindness that we can give to each other. And um ngayon nagre-reflect din ako sa, bilang Pilipino, yung kultura natin of hospitality. Kasi feeling ko yung yung word na, bayanihan, na ina-apply natin sa sarili natin. Parang ngayon talagang naririnig ko lang yan pag may pag may disaster, tapos um kung hihingin ng tulong yung mga survivors or victims,
Mhm.
lalo na of natural calamities, 'di ba? Kung may mga donation drives, parang naging buzzword na lang siya,
Mhm.
is what I'm saying. Which, sana naman walang ma-offend sa sinasabi ko, but that's just my feeling na um, I think on some level, medyo nawala natin yung totoong meaning nun. And being in Mongolia, tapos experiencing their culture, experiencing yung posibilidad na kahit total stranger na nagsasakay lang ng kabayo sa lugar nila, kung lalapit ka lang sa pamilya at hihingi ng tulong, kahit na hindi ka kilala, kahit na um, sobrang liit ng bahay nila, at saka um, parang talagang gagawin nila yung kaya nila para matulong ka. Talagang natural lang para sa kanila yung tumulong sa mga fellow travelers. And I um I really hope that, that's something that I want to bring home and maintain from there. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
any advice for people listening now who are telling themselves, "I want to do that too. I want, I want to be like Solana. I want to join the Mongol Derby." Anong would you discourage it, encourage it? Any precautionary
Mm-mm.
advice sa mga nakikinig ngayon?
Yung advice ko is, I would really hope that before joining, um i-figure out mo na yung mindset mo. Um Kasi kung gusto mong manalo, if the race is really your goal, um
Mhm.
I can say na talagang mahihirapan ka from the get-go. And you have to be
Mhm.
willing to face
Mhm.
that hardship and face that
Mhm.
challenge. It's
Mhm.
physical, it's mental. Tsaka um the difference between me and yung mga riders na nag-place sa top 10, first place, and all of that is, um ako naman talagang nag-focus ako sa experience of meeting the locals, of immersing myself in the culture. Tapos talagang bawat bagong landscape na nadadaanan ko, I fully immerse myself and take my time in it. So, naging more meditative siya sa akin. Um, which is not to say, hindi ko naman ini-invalidate na wag kang manalo kasi of course it's a race. It's a race. Some people will really have that goal. Pero isipin mo lang yung mindset mo right from the beginning. Kasi when I first started training, um, I really wanted to win. I wanted to win so badly. Tapos, ang daming nangyari sa akin nung training pa lang kasi yun nga, pandemic and everything. And I started to appreciate a different way of looking at it. Tapos, ang number one warning ko lang na related din sa mindset is mahirap talaga mag-adjust sa normal life, sa
Mhm.
regular
Mhm.
life after the
Mhm.
race. So,
Mhm.
isipin isipin niyo na lang na ako sobrang relaxed ako sa race. Ang number one goal ko nung time na yan is to just enjoy and experience, make friends. Nung nakita ko na sobrang hospitable at mababait yung mga Mongolian, ang naging goal ko is ipapakita ko na ganun din yung mga Filipino. Tapos sana kung may Filipino na sasali sa derby ulit, sana yan din yung attitude na makikita ng mga local. Pero imagine niyo na lang na yan yung mindset ko. Enjoy na enjoy ako. Tapos super safe ako buong karera. Di ako nahulog, di ako nasipa, wala akong injuries. It's such a big experience. Tapos may adrenaline, may ang highs, ang highs ng joy and happiness na may experience mo dyan. Sobrang rich, sobrang profound. Tapos ngayon parang magka-crash ka So, imaginein mo na lang na kung pumasok ka sa race with the mindset of, kailangan kong manalo, kailangan kong mag-place, tapos na-injure ka or hindi mo lang nakuha yung nalabasan na gusto mo. I imagine na yung crash, yung readjustment period into normal life will be a lot harder. At saka yan yung realidad ng Mongol Derby.
Are you already thinking about what's next for you? The next challenge?
Hindi ko pa alam kung paano ko itutuloy yung buhay ko na may kasamang kabayo because ayun nga yung sinabi ko na talagang nagsa-struggle yung industry ng mga pony boys ngayon. Um, you know, I I have lived a comfortable and privileged upbringing, so yung consequences ng struggle is not really
Mhm.
affecting me as badly as it's affecting them. Pero mahirap pa rin maging horse owner um, dito sa Baguio. Basically, hindi ko pa nakikita yung future na tutuloy yung tutuloy yung industry ng mga pony boys at parang magiging viable livelihood siya ulit. So that's definitely a big challenge. Kailangan mahanap ko yung paraan kung just how to make all of this work. Um, yeah, that's and then, eventually, sana makasali ako sa ibang karera naman na maybe the Mongol Derby again or maybe
Wow.
may mga ibang karera naman na similar but in different locations.
Mhm.
Although talagang sa ngayon gusto ko lang talagang bumalik sa Mongolia.
Okay, we'll look forward to the next chapter. Yeah, maraming salamat for sharing all of that. Glad you made it back safely, and
Yeah,
congratulations again on such a unique
thank you.
achievement and experience. Good luck on your next challenges. I'm sure there will be more than
Yeah.
one. So,
Aha.
yeah. Oo. Solana Perez, horsewoman of Baguio. Mabuhay ka, Solana.
Salamat, Howie.
Hi, I'm Howie Severino. Check out the Howie Severino podcast, an original for GMA News and Public Affairs. New episodes will stream every Thursday. Listen for free on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other platforms.